Tonight, we are just 2 weeks away from Election Day, and the battle for Georgia wages on.
That's right. Both presidential candidates, they are spending a lot of time and a lot of money in the Peach State working to get your vote. NBC's Bree Jackson joining us live from Washington, D.C. So, Bree, let's start with Vice President Kamala Harris. She spent the weekend here in Metro Atlanta, which was also her birthday, pushing to get out the vote. More than 1.6 million people in Georgia have cast their ballots so far. Can early voting numbers give these campaigns any insight into how much work they still need to do here in Georgia with 2 weeks out?
Yeah, it certainly can, and those are amazing record-breaking numbers that you guys are seeing there in Georgia. It just shows how tight this race is and the voter enthusiasm surrounding it. So now campaigns, they can gain access to the data of who voted early and use that information to narrow their efforts. So by finding out who's voted and who has not, they can begin to focus their door-knocking, social media ads, and other outreach efforts to really be more strategic about who they contact to make sure they get those traditional voters who have not cast their ballots yet to the polls by Election Day.
We saw a lot of excitement for former President Donald Trump last Tuesday in Cobb County. We know that he will be back in Metro Atlanta this Wednesday. VP Harris will be in Georgia with former President Barack Obama on Thursday. It seems like our state's pretty popular, right? How important is Georgia for each of these candidates?
Yeah. It is important, popular, critical, all of those words. So with 16 electoral college votes up for grabs, winning your state gives a candidate a better chance of claiming the presidency. And we do know that demographics will play a key role here. You have one of the country's largest proportions of black residents, and that is believed to be what helped President Biden flip the state back in 2020. And as you know, Georgia was also at the center of those attempts to overturn the 2020 state election results, which Trump was accused of conspiring to overturn. His narrow defeat, but has denied any wrongdoing. So once again, Georgia is expected to play a critical role in deciding who wins the presidency.
Bree, if I could ask you real quick here, what messaging can we expect from former President Trump and Vice President Harris on the campaign trail this week?
Well, both candidates are really going to ramp up efforts to get out the votes and sway any undecided voters that may still be out there, if they actually still do exist. We do know that Harris has been on the campaign trail drawing a sharp contrast between her values versus former President Trump's. And we've already seen former President Trump really become more aggressive, even using profanity when describing Vice President Harris. So you can really expect the rhetoric to ramp up, as well as the efforts to get their supporters out to vote.
And as we know, early voting taking place right now, so every word, every message counts. Bree, thank you so much.
Well, if you are voting in Clayton County on Election Day, we have a heads up for you. There is an emergency change of location for one polling place. The Board of Elections says if your polling place was the Now Faith Apostolic Ministry on Rex Road, it is moving to the Carl Rodenheiser Recreation Center. Now, that is also located on Rex Road. The County Board of Elections says voters who are affected will get a letter in the mail and a new precinct card. We have resources available for you as you head to the polls. Just text the word VOTE to this number on your screen. It's 404-885-7600. We'll send you information about polling locations and what measures are on the ballot.